The topic is process management in Linux. What is process management and commands? So, what is a process? A running program or an instance or an application that utilizes CPU or memory, that is known as a process. An application or an instance or a program cannot directly utilize the resources from the hardware. It uses software, that is an operating system, to communicate with the hardware to utilize CPU and the memory. So this process of instance or program or applications utilizing storage memory from the hardware, and we managing it by stopping, starting, killing the process, or prioritizing or deprioritizing the process is known as the process management. One of the responsibilities of operating system is to manage the CPU, manage the memory, manage the file system, and manage the. For example, a hardware, a virtual machine, or a Linux server, if suppose it has one CPU or two CPU storage, if some user or an engineer performs a tedious or a big task, that is to deploy an AI application that has complex calculations, or for example deploy something related to blockchain or cryptography, that requires a lot of storage, a lot of CPU process, but they only opted for one CPU, which was not enough. So to execute that process, the system will try to manage it. If it utilizes 90% or 80% of the storage, then it runs it. And the rest of the process of the programs would need to get utilized with that rest of the 10%. If suppose that application requires more CPU, if it is like reaches 100%, then the Linux server can get hanged. So we would need to kill that process. Also, it is same for the memory. If an application, let's suppose AI or blockchain, that requires a lot of storage, but we only have limited storage, if suppose 50 GB, but it requires 30 GB or more for its essential packages. So if it has less memory our system to run those applications, then it would give us an error in the logs by saying out of memory. To tackle this, we must opt for higher memory or reduce or delete some unnecessary files or applications. The process of prioritizing, killing, starting, stopping of these processes to manage the CPU and memory is known as the process management. PS space AUX. This command is used to list the processes that are running. PS space AUX space pipe space NL. It is to list the processes with line number. We can see the processes that are running with the line number. If it says 25, then there is 25 processes that are running. PS space AUX space WC word count space -L. This is for only seeing the number of processes that are running. It will not show details of the processes. It will only show how many processes are running. It shows like 25, 20. Now PS space AUX space grep USR. This will show the process with certain keywords. Grep would filter out the keyword that is after it. Now I have used a USR as a keyword to filter. So grep would filter out from the running processes and only show the process that has USR. And this command will also show you the process of this command running. To avoid that, another command is same as that is PS space AUX space grep USR space. Now addition would be grep space -v grep, and it will show only the process that has USR, not the grep command we use to check the USR. Now you can use that by replacing USR by any keywords or process that is like Python, Java. Now PS space -ef. This is also the command that shows the running processes. However, it doesn't show CPU and memory utilization, whereas PS space AUX shows us CPU and memory utilization. In the PS aux or in the running processes, user shows the user that has initiated it. If it says root user has initiated that process. PID or process ID is a unique ID that we can use to kill, stop or start the process. It is used to manage the process. CPU and memory shows its utilization. CMD shows the path or the command that was used to run that process or to start that process. Now, one of the key aspects of process management is to kill certain processes that hang the system, certain process that occupies 100% of the CPU that would hang the process. In order to resume the Linux server, is a need to kill that process. In order to kill the process, the command is kill space PID, that is the process ID. It would kill the process. And if the kill command alone doesn't kill, we can forcefully kill the process by kill space -9 space process ID. This would forcefully delete the process. Kill space -stop space PID or process ID. This is to stop the process temporarily. And to resume that process again, kill space -CONT space PID to resume that stopped process. That was about killing and stopping. Now, to prioritize or deprioritize a running instance, the command is renice, RENICE space -n space number. If it is positive number, that is 10, space -p and space PID. If it is a positive n, it would deprioritize that process. And if the n is negative, it would prioritize that process. It starts from -19 to 20. -19 would be the highest priority, 20 would be the least priority. Now, what are services? Services are the background running process that start from the boot of the server. Services are different from the programs. Programs are like Java, Python, that gets terminated when system gets shut down and we have to perform it again. But services are different. Services are background processes that restart or that boots up after the system restarts or boots. It doesn't require manual creation again and again. So some of these services are Apache and Nginx. These are like web server services. It is independent of us trying to re-enable or restart it again after the shutdown. After the system gets shut down and it gets restarted, the services also get restarted from the boot. So to check the services, the command is systemctl space list -units space -- type is equals to services. This would show you the services that are running. In my case, there is no services that are running. For example, Nginx or Apache. If it is running, it would show these services. To stop these services, the command would be systemctl space stop service name. For example, Nginx, that would stop that services. And to start that service again, command would be systemctl space start service name. For example, Nginx, that would start that service again. That is it for the video today. I hope I made the topic simple and easy to understand. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.